Hey guys, what's up? It's time for another classic review. My name is Midnight Strike 3625, and today I'm going to be reviewing Resident Evil 4, as they say on the main menu. So, this game is a first in a lot of different categories, one being more action-oriented in favor of a bunch of puzzles. It still has puzzles, but they're a little bit on the easier side. So, to get started, this actually pioneered the over-the-shoulder sort of camera angle that was later used in such games as Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. That actually utilizes it much in the same fashion as they do on this release. So, this actually has a very interesting background information coming from like the development side of it, because this game is actually, I actually have another version of this game, actually, right over here. I have two versions of the same game. Here's the other one. Recognize it? Yeah, you should, because they're basically the same game here. See? Don't they look the same from the back? Basically? Yeah, this one's Devil May Cry. It's an interesting story, because Devil May Cry actually began as Resident Evil 4. They were trying to boost up the coolness factor in Leon's gameplay versus, you know, having it just be fixed camera angles, walking through tank controls, stuff like that. So they were basically trying to innovate from the very beginning. But then again, you know, this one was described as too over the top, so they scrapped it and made its own series. So instead of one game, we get two very awesome series. This actually branched out in a series on its own. So Devil May Cry, pick it up. It's awesome. It's more of the like a God of War predecessor. It feels like God of War. Actually, I think God of War was inspired from that game. So yeah. We're not actually talking about Devil May Cry, though. I will actually do a classic review. I haven't beaten Nightmare yet, but I'm going to do a classic review on Devil May Cry, though, at a later date. This is Resident Evil 4. Actually, like I said, pioneered over-the-shoulder camera, very unique gameplay, lots of extras after you beat the game. You got, like, stuff like zombie hunters, Ada Wong's Separate Ways, different stuff like that. And the inventory is actually revamped in this game, much like a briefcase. You get a briefcase and you can buy different sizes of briefcases from the merchant at different points in the game, and you actually have to keep all of your weapons and stuff like that, and health stuff, I almost said health potions, health herbs, and you know, first aid sprays. You actually have to rotate them and fit them in. It's like a puzzle, so I really like that about it. I mean, from what I've played from Resident Evil 2, which isn't really that much, but it's just, you know, a straightforward pick your item and go thing. There really wasn't much strategic elements. There wasn't really much strategy to it. You just picked it up and went. So this one, on the other hand, is a different story. This one has a lot of strategy to it. So, especially in the gameplay, and hordes of zombies will come running at you, and you basically just have to shoot your way through them or knife them. So it's very strategic because you are limited in terms of ammunition, especially on professional mode. It even says in the wiki, do not take this mode lightly. You will probably die multiple times. So yeah, the game is awesome. Some of my gripes, though, with it are the cheesy storylines sometimes. I mean, the storyline, for the most part, is pretty tight, pretty, you know, sound, but there are some areas where you're just like, come on. And then the ending kind of seemed like it was just kind of sudden. They just kind of suddenly found the area where they were supposed to go and got the virus out of them. I'm not going to spoil any endings or anything like that, but it seems very rushed towards the end. And, you know, the end boss, it was all right, but there's this one weapon, 2 words, that makes the entire game practically just too easy. Rocket launcher. I mean, come on, you can kill every single boss in one hit from the rocket launcher. It's just a cheap, easy way out. I mean, you know, I'll admit that I did use it on 2 of the bosses, but no, I haven't used it on any of the other ones, especially any of the beginning ones. What's really cool, though, is you can actually kill the merchant. That's on another story, but the rocket launcher makes the game way too easy, so it's your choice on whether or not you want to use it, though. That's the kicker right there. So there's a lot of, like I said, strategy, planning, stuff like that. Really good, unique twist on the Resident Evil series. Makes it a little bit more action-oriented, but not so far as to stray from the series' roots. It's still a survival horror game. It's still got its jump scares, like when there's this scene where you're walking through this this wood maze. It's a grass, you know, those grass mazes, and it's in a scary night-like environment, and these wolves just jump out at you, and it's just like, I was playing that shit at 3 in the morning. That shit fucking scared me. I was like, oh my god! Whoever says this game wasn't scary, holy shit. You know, I'm usually not scared by video games, but, you know, Devil May Cry has the atmosphere. This has the jump scares. They both have the atmosphere. I mean, god. You know, what I really noticed in the beginning, though, was, you know, Leon's jacket, if you're not picking the extra thing, the extra costume, the color scheme is practically perfect. I mean, you got the fall, the autumn leaves just falling down, and the leafless trees for the scenery, and the log wood style homes, and it's just a creepy atmosphere with the especially with Leon's jacket. It's also like brown. They kind of got the brownish like gray tones down, and it's a color scheme. I really like it. It really adds to the mystique of the first part of the game. Of course, then he loses the jacket, but you know, what can you do there? It actually just everything in this game just adds to the mysterious, just scary, downright scary environment. So they really do pull that off quite nicely. So some of my gripes, though, like I said, the aiming system. I mean, I do like the aiming system, but the red laser pointer only points at something and puts the dot on something if you can actually shoot it, and if it's interactive. I think that they should just put the laser so the dot appears on anything, personally. But another thing is you can't move and shoot at the same time. I don't know if they've added this to the more recent ones, but I mean, it's like back up, stop, shoot, back up, stop, shoot. I mean, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of an annoying feature, but at the same time, the enemies don't actually have that much intelligence. But then again, why should they? They're zombies. Come on. Or infected, anyways. They're not zombies, technically, but yeah, they're infected with this virus. I'm not going to explain the entire plot, but there's, you know, cult members, and it's just, you know, Resident Evil experimenting and just delving into new territory like never before. I mean, they were planning on doing this from the very beginning, folks. You know? I rest my case. So, yeah, Devil May Cry. Resident Evil 4. There was actually so many different versions of this game that got scrapped that finally in 2005, a version for the GameCube comes out. But of course, it's not the definitive version because it doesn't have all these extras with Ada Wong here. So, you know, like I said, the reason why I showed these two back, you know, the back covers of these two games is because you can even, like, look at that. They look almost, like, identical. One's red, one's blue. I mean, it's really cool how these games came from each other and how they look so similar in style. You know, you can definitely tell, even though one's a hack and slash, one's a survival horror game. So, my basic thing is, really like the game, really like, also the merchant's Australian, London-ish accent. It's awesome to hear him talk. You're just like, click, what are you buying? Click on something to sell, what are you selling? And then, like, he'll say different things when you buy an all-powerful weapon, like the rocket launcher, or a collectible weapon, like the revolver. It's just, there's tons of shit to explore, tons of stuff to find, and just uncover various story and plot twists and details. It's a really enriching story. Highly recommend the game. One of my favorites. And if I would have actually made my PS2 top, you know, best of PS2 games list, this would definitely be near the top. So, yeah. Awesome game. Probably rate it 9.5 out of 10. I really did enjoy this game. I love it. Resident Evil 4. Gotta do it in Soul Calibur's Japanese kind of voice, what they do on those games. But yeah, classic title. And it's not too action-oriented like the latter half of the series, like 5 and 6. So if you like the, you know, the roots of the series, like 1 and 2 and Resident Evil 0 and 3 Nemesis, you will definitely enjoy this title, because it's just smack dab in the middle. It's got a little, you know, it's got the best of both worlds, basically. So 9.5 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching. This is Midnight Strike 3625. Keep calm and rock on.